everyone, today I'm delving into a topic that's increasingly relevant in our digitally dominated world. Are filters warping our perception of beauty? This isn't just a passing thought. I've noticed something peculiar about my own perceptions. Stars I once found so pretty, like Al McPherson for example, they don't strike me the same way anymore. It's not that they're any less stunning, it's just our collective lens that has changed. So let me take you on a journey through time. Back in the late 19th and early 20th century, photographers used techniques like soft focus and negative scratching to beautify images. This trend continued in film with soft focus lenses creating a dreamy, almost unreal look. Then came the mid-20th century where airbrushing took the world by storm, allowing even more precise alterations. But it was a digital era that truly revolutionized image manipulation. Photoshop and similar software made it possible to alter reality with just a few clicks. This trend spilled over into music videos and films, blurring the lines between reality and fantasy. Fast forward to today's social media and smartphone era, filters are everywhere. Apps like Instagram and Snapchat let us alter our appearance in real time. The result is a seismic shift in beauty standards. I don't know if you noticed, but try to take a picture where you think you look good. Then put filters on it, and after doing that, remove the filters again. You suddenly will think that the first picture wasn't really not that great in the first place. You will see yourself as less attractive than you first did. So here's where it gets interesting. The contrast effect. This psychological phenomenon means that our standards of beauty elevate when we're constantly bombarded with flawless filtered images. The once extraordinary becomes the new normal. And what about the Instagram versus reality effect? It's creating an unrealistic world where digital perfection is the benchmark, leading to serious issues like body dysmorphic disorder and reduced self-esteem. You will start to judge yourself based on your digital self, your unreal self. Just also, we should stop idolizing all these people on Instagram who are just posting very flattering and beautiful images of themselves in the best poses with lighting, filters and everything, and somehow idolize vanity in a way. Because that's what it is, unless they're offering you something to help you, like a program or like fitness influencers who hopefully show their real results and don't alter their muscles or anything like that. But else it's like we're idolizing certain people, and I question why. Like some of the like Kardashians or anything like that. We are feeding this. Like we have so much responsibility in our hands, and we need to realize this and start thinking about that and change our actions. It's never too late to change. Never, 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 never. And imagine the influence this has on young kids, young teens, when they constantly see this and are constantly confronted with that everywhere on TikTok, all over social media. Imagine the impact on their minds.
You know, I think this is the problem. We keep feeding the beast, and it's conversations that we need to have with our children at home about what really, really matters, and conversations right now on the project that these filters are unrealistic and the beauty standards that we're putting out there are really hard to meet.
This might surprise everyone, but I actually do look like this. This is the real me, Sarah.
Perfection, Steve.
Nothing can help. Nothing can help.
You know, I think it is fun to have these moments with our girlfriends and playing around and whatever, but it's the messaging that we keep pushing out to our younger generation and people who haven't really done the work on themselves and found that inner confidence, which is what I talk about a lot.
Because even knowing that images are filtered and edited, they still subconsciously impact our opinion and our perception about beauty and body image. Frequent and repeated exposure to filtered and altered images can subtly shift our perception of what is normal or desirable, even if we consciously understand that these images are not realistic. This is a form of the mere exposure effect, where people tend to develop a preference for things merely because they're familiar with them. Over time, people may internalize the beauty standards depicted in these altered images, leading to a skewed perception of beauty. And this can happen even if the individual understands that these standards are just unrealistic or that they're artificially altered. So is this why they're calling Margot Robbie mid now? But it's not just about perception. There's a real world impact too. The rise in plastic surgery and invasive skin treatments is alarming. From laser resurfacing that risks losing your facial fat to radiofrequency treatments that might cause more harm than good. The quest for beauty is becoming a risky endeavor. And let's not forget the extremes like Brazilian butt lifts, a procedure with a shockingly high mortality rate. And I know that's not necessarily a filter, although many do digitally alter their behinds and their waists to be like smaller and then like this big ass. But it's the same principle of creating that fake image that's just not real, that becomes a new normal stored inside our brains. The impact of these phenomena is significant. It can lead to a range of issues like reduced self-esteem, body dysmorphic disorder, and an overall distorted perception of beauty and normalcy in physical appearance. Okay, while I was doing research for this video, I also came across some interesting threads on Reddit. There's this comment from also punk rock. Yes, I have heard this. It's pretty twisted to think that a lot of young women go to get plastic surgery to look more like they do in Instagram pictures, which is a real thing. People are literally taking their filtered images, like put a filter on their face, then take a picture or a screenshot, and then actually go to a plastic surgeon and show them like, here, this is what I want you to make my face look like. And someone replied, I didn't get plastic surgery, but for years I bought foundation after foundation because I wasn't getting the full coverage and smooth skin like the ad shows. Turns out no one does, because there is no such thing. This is actually true. I used to do that as a teen, a young teen, when I still wore like makeup, full face of makeup. I always put on foundation, but it always bothered me that you could see it. I was like, with people in the magazines and on TV, I don't see it. Like, their skin is flawless. You don't see that it's caked on. I got this really warped perception. I thought I had like dry skin, or there was something wrong with my skin. Well, it was just actually just the unreal images that made me think it was that way, that I had somehow my skin just couldn't handle foundation. Also, this comment I thought was interesting. It says, do you know that when you buy a new phone, it frequently comes with a slide filter applied to the camera already? Like, you have to manually turn it off. All the fun filters for like Snapchat and Insta don't just smooth you out and make your eyes look stupidly large. They also very slightly sim your nose and tuck your chin, just enough so that you look like a slightly better version of yourself without setting off any flags in your mind to recognize that that's not actually what you look like. Which should not be a default option. That's kind of messed up. And there's this one also. He says, I work in a post-production. Fancy word of saying I'm an editor, and we do mostly Hallmark movies. They, the producers, request that we use this thing called a beauty filter on every face, but especially on the lead actresses, sometimes also the men. And the kicker is, it can be strong enough that the actresses know that it's there. So it's a subtle like difference, but still very noticeable. Eventually you start to think that's how you look like, and you start noticing more flaws when you look in the mirror. It's important to have a critical eye to media consumption and recognize the distinction between digitally altered images and what's reality. Encouraging more realistic and diverse representation in media can also mitigate these effects. And there's a silver lining. People, they crave authenticity. They're relieved to see unfiltered, real images. This pushback against the fake is a breath of fresh air in a world obsessed with artificial beauty. So what's the bottom line? It's about making a conscious choice. Moving away from these deceptive filters isn't just good for our mental health. It's a step towards embracing and celebrating authenticity. It's high time we question the trade-off between online popularity and the impact on our mental health and societal standards. Remember, embracing our true selves, imperfections and all, isn't just liberating, it's essential for a healthier, more genuine world. That's all for today, so let me know what you think about filters, if you use them, if you've gotten so used to them that you can't live without them, and judge yourself harshly when you don't. Yeah, I think it's just so important that we stop this for ourselves, for other people, the world in general, and the new generations. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, click the notification bell, maybe leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!